442 hours, 62,000 kills, and 2.3 kills per minute later, Battlefield 1 has been out for about a year and a half now, and with the reveal of Battlefield 5, the last batch of weapons DLC for the game has been patched into the game via a pre-order bonus for pre-ordering Battlefield 5. And now, knowing that there are no more weapons to be added to the game that we know of, I think it's time that we talk about which gun is the best and why. Now, of course, this is all subject to personal opinion, and of course, there are a certain number of weapons that could be classified as the best weapon based on a certain player's playstyle, but I'm here to tell you that there is one weapon that stands out among the rest as the best gun in Battlefield 1, and it might surprise you what weapon it is. I have played this game from day one. I've nearly used everything in the game, earning service stars with the majority of every weapon. I like to think that I have a pretty good grasp by now on what gun truly is the best. Now, you can definitely make the argument that this video is about a year too late, and at this point, it's irrelevant, but just like you may experience change over the course of a year, so does the balancing, or lack thereof, depending on who you ask. So what I've done is I've put together a list of my top 25 weapons in terms of kills and efficiency, and I've studied my performance with them, thought about my personal feelings about the weapon, and have took into account the amount of playtime playing with each weapon, and have looked at all of that to form my opinion of the best weapon in Battlefield 1. Now, these top 25 weapons are not the first 25 weapons you'll see if you go and look at my stats, and that is because I'm excluding gadgets and pistols that show up in between the first 25 primary weapons. The only thing that all of these picks have in common, besides certain classes, is that all of them have at least 5 service stars, which means I have gotten at least 500 kills with the weapon at the time of me making this video. But enough with the small talk, let's get into the video. So, what is it? What is the best weapon in Battlefield 1? Is it the Hellriegel, a weapon that I have the most service stars with at 75? Nope. Actually, the best weapon in the game is not an assault weapon at all, so right off the bat, that eliminates probably 3 of the most popular guns in the entire game: the Hellriegel, the Automatico, and the SMG-08. So, where do we go next? Surely it can't be in the Scout class, can it? Well, you'd be right. Even though 20% of the weapons in my top 25 were sniper rifles, including the Gewehr 98, being the weapon with the second most kills, it's not a sniper rifle either. So now that leaves us with 2 options, and to cut the tease, I'm just going to narrow it down. It's not a support weapon either, though the Barstorm and the IMG-08 are top 5 weapons, so this treasure hunt lands us in the medic class. Surely I must be talking about the Fedorov Aftermath, the best weapon in the game, as voted by Westie's community, if that really means anything. Well, you'd be wrong again. The best weapon in Battlefield 1 is the autoloading 8.25 Extended. Now, this might come as a surprise to some of you, but the autoloading Extended is more than just a pea shooter weapon that it used to be. In fact, it is far greater than that, and the autoloading Extended didn't used to be the best. Before the TTK patch, it fell right in the middle of things, especially ever since the Fedorov Aftermath was released with the In the Name of the Tsar DLC, and unfortunately, the Fedorov has overshadowed the Extended because of one simple factor: the Fedorov is fully automatic, and the autoloading is not. But this video is titled The Best Weapon in Battlefield 1 and Why, so now that we have gotten the what out of the way, let's talk about the why. If you are interested in having a look for yourself, all of these stats can be found at simthic.com, the best site for extreme details on all the weapons in your favorite games. That's not a sponsorship, that's just some cold hard facts, which, speaking of facts, let's talk about the autoloading in depth here for a second. The autoloading Extended has a peak damage of 38 up to 16 meters. Now, that's not terribly far, but the autoloading will be a 3-shot kill up to 22 meters. And the damage will decrease down to a low of 21 at 45 meters, but the weapon will be a 5-shot kill from 39 meters onward. In addition to that, the Extended has a bullet velocity of 660 meters per second, whereas the Fedorov Aftermath bullet travels at only 570 meters per second. So, if you ever wonder why it feels like your bullets are ghosting on you and you need to lead your shots a little bit more with the Fedorov, that would be why. So the autoloading is a 3-shot kill up to 22 meters, a 4-shot kill up to 38 meters, and a 5-shot kill anywhere beyond that point. This is, of course, excluding body and head damage multipliers. However, the highlight here is that a 3-shot kill is up to 16 meters. Keep that in mind. This is the fastest time to kill in the medic class, and this will be important later on if this doesn't already sell you on the weapon as is. The autoloading has 16 rounds in the magazine and has the fastest reload time of all the medic weapons at 3 seconds when completely empty. Now, the thing that really makes this weapon so good is its rate of fire. Now, the autoloading has a rate of fire of 359 rounds per minute, whereas the Fedorov has a bullet velocity of 449 rounds per minute, nearly 100 rounds more. You'll hear me compare the Extended to the Fedorov a lot, just purely because it is by far and large the most popular medic weapon in Battlefield 1, so I'm assuming that's what a majority of you all use when it's time to get the syringes out. Now, despite the Fedorov having nearly 100 rounds per minute more than the autoloading Extended, the 359 rate of fire for the autoloading is a soft cap because it is a semi-automatic weapon. The actual rate of fire for the Extended, based on how fast your trigger finger is more likely closer to 400 rounds per minute instead of 359. So that places the autoloading only 50 rounds behind the Fedorov Aftermath, which is actually a lot closer than you might think. Here are the two side by side. Unfortunately, I had to record this in a public lobby because someone changed the password to the private server, but it got the job done. Now, although the Fedorov is faster and it's a little bit hard to tell because of the bullet smoke, but the auto-loading really isn't all that far behind as the stats would lead you to believe. Now, something that I also hope you noticed during that little demonstration was the recoil. The auto-loading's recoil is extremely manageable and it is strictly vertical without much movement. The Fedorov, on the other hand, gyrates around with a little more horizontal recoil and the sides get in the way. So by now you're saying, okay, that's great, but the Farquhar has the best damage in the class and the best bullet velocity. How does the autoloading compete? And although the Farquhar is very strong, you can get a 2-shot kill up close with a headshot with it. The Farquhar lacks hip fire and ADS time. The autoloading not only has a better hip fire spread overall, but has a better moving ADS time than the Farquhar Hill rifle, meaning that if you run up on somebody 1v1, somebody has an autoloading, the other person has a Farquhar, in close range, the autoloading will not only ADS faster, but it will also more than likely win a hipfire battle as well, unless the Farquhar Hill user lands a lucky headshot. So now you're probably thinking, okay, I can see how the autoloading can beat out a lot of the other weapons in the medic class, but how on earth can the autoloading beat weapons like the Hellriegel and the Bar? Well, remember when I said that short-range 3-shot kill would be important? Here is where it comes into play, and this is why the autoloading Extended is the strongest weapon in the game. The fact of the matter is that the autoloading can compete at any range in the game for the most part, and although it really excels at short-medium range, the weapon is easily as deadly at short and long range as well. Recall that the autoloading Extended's 3-shot kill range maxes out at 16 meters. Well, at 16 meters and higher, the Hellriegel is already at a 5-shot kill. At 38 meters, which is where the autoloading's 4-shot kill range ends, the Hellriegel is a 6 to 7-shot kill. Now, you might be thinking that what I just told you really doesn't make that much of a difference, but what isn't factored in yet is the recoil. The autoloading contains a straight vertical recoil, as we've already seen, while the Hellriegel bounces around and is a bit uncontrollable for some players. So factor in that the autoloading is a 3-shot kill with a fast semi-auto fire rate and non-existent recoil, when the Hellriegel is a 5-shot kill with sporadic recoil and no range. You begin to realize that the autoloading can compete with those beloved assault weapons at close range, and more often than not, you will win those gun battles. What's really surprising is that the hip fire of the autoloading is actually significantly better than the Hellriegel in every accuracy category, and of course, the autoloading has the fastest reload than the most popular guns in every other class. Now, I've talked about the autoloading at short range, and the same goes for the autoloading at long range. The autoloading is a 5-shot kill from 38 meters outward, and the recoil is so unnoticeable that apart from some random bullet spread, it is very possible to compete with bipoded LMGs and snipers at reasonable distances. Although I wouldn't suggest trying to bee out a support with a good bipoded location too often, because admittedly, the autoloading can win some of those gunfights, but not all of them. And this range buff didn't occur until the TTK patch, so a lot of this weapon's long-range strength draws from that, and people are really still trying to learn where that range kind of drops off. But if you were to take away one thing from this video, it should be this. The autoloading extended is the best weapon in the game because not only does it excel at its own unique range, but it also has the ability to challenge other weapon classes in their preferred ranges, and oftentimes beat them. Now, I know the selection for best weapon might have surprised you, and believe me, I considered a lot of good weapons for the title. Here is the top 5 if you're curious, but I just found the autoloading extended to be the best of both worlds, an overlooked wonder of a weapon. Thank you all so much for watching this video. It took a while to make. I really thought long and hard about this, but at the end of the day, I feel really comfortable with this choice, and I hope that this maybe brought some light to the weapon, because I know it's a little bit overlooked. But regardless of that, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like on it, and if you are new around here, subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thank you, you're awesome. My name is Nicker Catalyst, and I will see you all another time.
They were never friendly, yeah. Now I'm coming out of Bailey, yeah. And I know I sound dramatic, yeah. But I know I had to have it, yeah. For the money I'm a savage, yeah. I be itching like I had it, yeah. I'm surrounded 20 babies, yeah. But they didn't know me legend, yeah. Everyone wanna act like they important, but all that mean nothing when I saw my door.